Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 3, Good Out Here official countdown video. Thanks to everybody for being here, and I actually got it right tonight. Last couple weeks, I've given you guys The Walking Dead, but I actually got the Fear the Walking Dead. So it is transitioning and starting to feel like its own show. I know a lot of people are we ready to get back into Fear the Walking Dead? Because I got to tell you, and I've even seen it in some of the streams, Infinity War is absolutely nuts. It's crazy. I know everybody wants to talk about it. They want to get involved. I'm just going to ask you guys to not talk about it. We will do, maybe over the next couple of days, we will do an Infinity War stream and let everybody sort of just get it out of their system. But even subtle hints can become spoilers. So I'm just going to ask you guys just to reserve that, and let's get into Fear the Walking Dead mode and talk a little bit about what is going on tonight. So going to have a lot of fun. It was a super interesting weekend, and hopefully you guys got a chance to see the mid-season premiere of The Walking Dead Junkies today. We had some really good chat, and of course we threw a new intro in there. A lot of good things going on with Walking Dead. New video game coming out in the fall. Could be October, November. I am psyched about that. And what can be better than just The Walking Dead and the family and the army all together to talk about that? So here's some news for everybody, and this is kind of cool. Spoiler sites have not had a lot of spoilers lately, which I'm completely okay with, because we get to see a little bit of our predictions kind of come true without it being kind of hinted and pushed by an outside source. So tonight is going to be back and forth. We saw the teasers, and we pieced a little bit of stuff together. But finally, we get to see the Morgan and Nick standoff. Not really, I guess, a fight, but Morgan does get to tripping with the stick, which I'm kind of happy about that. And we heard Strand say that a deal requires an act of faith. So I'm going to throw this out to the group. Strand said that to Althea. What do you think the act of faith is that he's going to expect? And I think faith is, I don't know, it kind of confused me with that act of faith. I've heard of a leap of faith, but I think he kind of meant like a show of something. Maybe a show of loyalty instead of an act of faith. But what do you think that Strand has up his sleeve for tonight? Exactly, Mag. I do want to see the face plant. I'm going to get a few comments up in here. And I guess it depends on the context. It depends on when it happens. Right? That's a good point, Rial. It is a little bizarre, but Strand's changed. He's a different person. So, Pete D with no comment, just a little bit of support, and absolutely, Pete, I appreciate your support, and I am going to do, it's gonna be a week or two, but because Pete D is such an avid supporter of the channel with Super Chat and being here, I'm going to do a t-shirt dedicated to Pete D. I'm not going to tell you guys what it's going to be, but it is going to be something that we're going to put on the gear site. So when I'm ready to unveil it, I will let you guys know. With that being said, we do have the Lucille the like button. So I am going to ask everybody to please Lucille that like button for us, just like the t-shirt says over on the left side as well. So some people say you can't even guess what's going on with Strand when he gets in that deal-making mode. But we know that Madison is still not there. And that's a lot of speculation. I have heard rumors that the group will be relocating after the mid-season finale. So it doesn't look like Madison will be dead by the mid-season finale. I know, not that everybody wants that. It's just been kind of speculation. But I've heard rumors that Madison and Nick were filming together. I guess episode 8, episode 9. Just kind of murmurs at this point, but it looks like she's just kind of in a different place. So, early prediction, if we don't see Madison before episode 4, then she's dead. Yeah, I heard they were relocating. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be out of Texas or if it's just going to be kind of traveling. I think at some point, groups got to travel up north. Kelly doesn't think Madison's dead. Maybe, they could just be toning down her airtime a little bit. So tonight, as I said, we do get a little bit of that back and forth. Nick is going to watch the recording of Morgan. So Nick seems to be very interested in getting to know Morgan's character. And that's dangerous. So he does watch the video where Morgan says, "I don't kill." And also the book, The Art of Peace. So Nick is kind of snooping around a little bit. Get into a couple comments here. What's up, Graffiti? Hey, thanks for popping in. Thanks for the super chat as well. And I know Pete D didn't give me a question. Graffiti, if you got a follow-up, definitely throw it out there. We'd love to talk about your topic. And that does remind me, we are going to have a interesting super chat stream. It's going to be something we're going to throw out there a little bit later on. I'll talk about that toward the end of this video, because we've got some new stuff that's going to go down. Maybe in the middle of this video, I'll give you guys like the sneak peeks of some upcoming streams. And if you're on the Walking Dead 999 Army on Facebook, you'll see the calendar, so you'll know a little bit of what we got going on. Well, we know Madison's not dead at this point. The question is going to be, is she going to die by the end of the season? And I didn't think she'd be dead by the mid-season finale. But I do think they're going to string it along. So Graffiti, there you go. There's a good follow-up. Can Nick be related to the Whispers since he used to cover himself with the blood? It's all going to depend, Graffiti, on how they play out these time skips. I saw an interesting analogy, and I'm going to talk about that in 1 second, and it has to do with football. And so I'm going to get to Graffiti's in 1 second, but Villar says, "What's up to the 999 Army?" You know what? I'm going to fill in the rest, though, because Villar, that's all-inclusive. I love it. So, to Kills, to the moderators, and the whole 999 Army. So, thank you so much. Appreciate that, and your entrance is well appreciated, and hopefully you got a chance to look at the calendar. I think it is May 17th that we're going to start doing our Thursday Thrones. And by that time, the movie buzz is going to die down a little bit, because truth be told, it's hard to find other content right now than something that is related to a superhero. There's just a lot of superhero stuff out there. Like I said, I'm not going to deviate the topic, because it only takes like a small match and I'll set this whole keg on fire if I start talking about it. But you guys know what I'm talking about, just the movie, the very popular movie right now that I'm going to avoid. So, Chosen One. No spoilers. Spoiler sites are having a hard time getting information, which is great for our little chat, because it definitely gives us longer in the week that we can speculate and talk without knowing the answers. I'd love the predictions more anyway, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so let me get back to a little bit of Graffiti's topic. So how many people got a chance to watch the NFL draft, if you're football fans and your favorite football team? Just kind of, we'll see. We'll see how many sports fans we have mixed in with our Walking Dead. What's up, Dave? Hey, thanks, man. I know there's a ton of football fans out there. So one thing happened last season, and the Patriots traded Jimmy Garoppolo, and they got a draft pick. And they took that draft pick, and they traded for a couple other draft picks. And then they drafted someone, and then they traded for a couple other draft picks. And they asked the general manager if they were doing all that just to try to keep people from finding out if they got any value for the initial trade. And when I saw that, I thought, maybe part of it is strategy, but the other part might be just to blow up a little bit of a smoke screen. So when I see The Walking Dead and I see Fear the Walking Dead, and you're trying to piece these timelines together where how long's Maggie been pregnant? How long was Morgan at the Heaps before he left? And, somebody said 6 months to grow an eggplant or whatever the case may be. But then now we're at a certain time in Fear, but yet they've been at the Diamond for a year. And how long were they out before then? And now they're going back and forth between current time and the scenes that we see building up to the year. So we really don't know what time it is. And we don't know when when Walking Dead starts filming this week, we don't know what time it is there either and how much they're going to skip. So when you start talking about tying maybe people from Fear in, whether it's a Nick or a Daniel or possibly Morgan, you can't tell because we don't know how it's all going to play out, what the time skip is going to be. I know it's a kind of a weird analogy with the football draft, but it really is to keep people on their toes and to get them to stop thinking about the time skip as much and just do it to accomplish what it is that they want to do. So I'm going to kind of throw it out there for the group at this point. Initially, we thought that the crossover was a little, maybe not convenient, but let's not think about it as a crossover anymore. If Daniel were to go to DC, or Daniel were to show up on The Walking Dead, would you have a problem with it, or would you think it's too coincidental? That's what I'm going to ask the group. I think we're also back to normal streaming capacity. Because what YouTube normally does is there's usually about a 10-second skip, I guess, so they can sort of analyze. And I've been running streams on lower latency, which is closer to a real-time interaction, so you guys hear it a little bit quicker. So a lot of people are coming in, they're saying, too coincidental. Deborah Mooney says, fear is all about coincidence. And Deborah, I'm right there with you. I've said that for a long time. Epic Vid says, far too coincidental. Maggie B says, definitely wouldn't like it. All right, so here you go. I'm going to try to dispel all those myths at this moment. Here's the difference between coincidental and crossover. With Fear the Walking Dead, it's all within the same element. It's all the same group. So you drop your watch, and then you're out in the middle of the desert, and then somebody like Alicia comes by and picks up your watch, and then she drops it, and then Daniel picks it up. They're all connected in some way, and that's what kind of bothered me so much about Fear. But keep in mind, people are scattered all over the place. So the fact that we watch both shows makes it coincidental. If Daniel were to show up on Walking Dead, I don't think it's coincidental. I'm okay with it at this point because they have to go somewhere, and you got to take yourself out of that. You're kind of the omnipotence, that you're looking over the entire Walking Dead universe. So even with Morgan crossing over, it's only because we watch Fear that it seems convenient. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with somebody else crossing over. I'm okay with somebody going from one show to the other. Right, Ultra Groove. So that to me is convenient and coincidence. But the crossover, I'm fine with those things. Because it may add some entertainment value. What if someone does go looking for Morgan? What if Morgan left some trails? What if he left some hints? And they bring another main character over to Fear the Walking Dead? I'm fine with it. Because that would give me some entertainment value all through Fear the Walking Dead. Well, see, the problem with that, Drama King, is it's still a big moneymaker. So it would make more sense if they could keep the ratings up to have a third spinoff. It's just we don't have the time for it. And if they were to combine the groups, then it might be time for Walking Dead in a different country. So there you go. Dawn of the Frank says, yeah, I get what you're saying, Kills. Tegan, I didn't want to kind of, pull you guys in circles when I'm explaining this, but I was kind of the same way, and I had to really separate what is coincidence and what is not coincidence. And, people meet up. If Rick's brother comes into the fold, and that's why I said, if Rick's brother showed up on Fear the Walking Dead, now, the fact that Morgan would know Rick, that might be, that'd be one of those things where you say, wow, it's a small world. But that's a little different than, Nick going down to Mexico and being, Madison going to the same supermarket that he goes to in Mexico. And I do think that going to D.C. is not the worst thing that people could do. Right? I mean, if there is one central point that is going to bring people together. Now, Morgan might have wanted to get as far away from D.C. as possible. But there's going to be other people that want to be pulled into that D.C. area. And let us not forget, our group came from Abraham, I guess, came from Texas, right? And the rest of the gang came from Georgia, or the outskirts of, some people might have been outside of Georgia and they met up. But then they went to Richmond, ultimately to get to D.C. And as we're about 18 minutes into this, I do want to, let me make a couple announcements while we get back to Fear the Walking Dead. So I posted a video today. It's just of a trailer. It's been out there for a while. But Overkill has a pretty awesome looking video game. Those are cutscenes that are coming out. We got a character Aiden. We got another character Maya. We're going to talk about that a little bit. What's super cool about it, one, I love Walking Dead video games. But number two, it's in DC. And we've only gotten bits and pieces from the comic book and also from the TV show of what DC is like. I mean, we saw Big City with Atlanta, so we know that. But they're in Alexandria, so they're really a little, 15 minutes, 20 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. And the one thing about the show is I always want them on the show to be pulled back into that area a little bit more because I figure there's a lot of people. There's a high population. There's a lot of dead people. Could be some people still living in D.C. I assume there is. But there's got to be a lot of supplies as well. Wilson, it's on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4, and I'll be streaming it on PS4. So even if you don't like to play video games, I'll try to play the game and maybe keep you somewhat entertained. But I will definitely be spending some time into that game. So, but I do like the fact that it is Skybound. It's Robert Kirkman. It's Overkill. He has got his hand right in this thing, and I think he's going to tell a good story with DC, which is why I bring it up this group, because I know you guys really like to get into the lore of The Walking Dead. So, a couple more things, and then we're going to wrap this thing up, let you guys grab some dinner, get your popcorn, get ready for Fear the Walking Dead. The Tank, they do have a wreck tonight. And if you got a chance to watch the teaser, you see that. It gets ran off the road. Looks like there's a little bit of a scuffle that goes down. I don't know who's going to cause that, but it does go off the, the barrier, and they're completely surrounded by walkers. So I don't know if that's early on or later, but that could be the act of faith that Strand is alluding to. And I think tonight's episode is going to be more about the growth of the group and the acceptance of the group. And with that being said, I am going to transition it over to, you guys have a bold prediction for tonight. Give me one bold prediction you see up on the screen. You've got Althea taking down a couple walkers while the other people watch. So that might be the act of faith. But if you got one super bold prediction, give it to me right now. Once we do that, I'm going to go ahead and make the announcements for the rest of the week. And then we will do our shout-outs and roll out here. So one bold prediction from everyone. Red Razzle wants to know, where is Naomi in the present timeline? That's a great question. We don't know, because we've only seen Naomi and Madison in that flashback. So current day, no Madison, no Naomi. So does she last the whole season? Maggie B says Nick wrecks the tank. Morgan Trust Rick Pete D with the boldest prediction ever says Tara is going to die. Tara is going to die during the off season, and Morgan will find out via carrier pigeon. I love it. Ooh, Karen S. says Daniel is driving the car from the promo. Very nice prediction. Matthew Cooper says Madison will get bitten. Nah, not tonight. Daniel comes back. All right. Very, very bold prediction. Okay, everybody. I'm going to give you a quick update really, really fast just to talk about some of the stuff we got going on. So, once again, later on in the year, we are going to get to the Walking Dead gaming. We're going to be very hardcore in that. Get a chance, go back, watch our last episode of the Walking Dead Junkies. This coming up Sunday, we're going to do a what if. So, it's going to transition over that. We're going to do that for a couple of months, but you'll see this will be our season premiere of What If. We'll throw some topics out there. Also, a lot of people have been requesting an additional stream, so we're going to do a Freestyle Friday. Freestyle Friday, I'd love for everybody to participate, but here's how it's going to work, because I do want to give a shout-out to a lot of people at Super Chat. They're going to be really, really, hopefully we don't have people coming in doing super chats, but the idea is that we'll start with a topic, and we're going to run that topic for however long the show is, and if somebody wants to change the topic, they will super chat their topic. Nothing big. They're going to be small super chats. You can do a 99-cent super chat if you want, but a lot of people, I want to get some notoriety out there to the people that are really giving a lot to this channel, so I want to let them control a little bit of the content. We'll see how it works for a week or two. If it works really, really well, we'll continue to do it bi-weekly. But it can be about whatever you guys want to talk about. A lot of the topics will probably stump me. They're going to be things that we're going to kind of be looking up. Very random, very freestyle. I may even super chat myself just to get it off the topic so we can start talking about something else. So got a lot of crazy stuff going on with the channel. We're also going to start, as I said, on May 17th. We're going to do Thursday Thrones. That is going to be our Thursday night slot. So if you guys have not, get out there and binge watch Game of Thrones. So we got some good stuff to talk about. All right, everybody, I'm going to cut this stream just a couple minutes short because I just know that there is the temptation for people to talk about Infinity Wars spoilers. We will sometime during the week. We're going to do an official Infinity Wars stream just to talk about it, just to get it all out there in the open. Thank you for you guys keeping it tight-lipped. I know YouTube is just completely inundated with Infinity Wars and what happens and after credits and who does this and who does what, but we got to shut this down right now. Enjoy Fear the Walking Dead. I will see all of you hopefully after Fear the Walking Dead at 10:20 for our fan reaction video. My name's Killshot. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all at 10:30. Peace.